Excuse the runny nose and me sounding like a duck today. Or is it a duck? Not a duck. A goose? Sound like a goose. Sound like I'm talking nasally today. So blessings to everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Got a few things to discuss and look at for the week ahead. So come on in. Blessed be everybody. Thank you for joining me. Yeah. So feeding the ducks, feeding the ducks. I don't know if anybody's up yet. I have a meditation in an hour, so I'm not going to take too much of your time. My meditation is going to be kind of short today, and then I have a couple readings today. So we'll see how I get through it all. I noticed, oh, Kitty's using the kitty box. She likes her privacy. Uh, things are going pretty crazy in the world. I mean, I didn't do anything on I did a scope on Friday, but I didn't do one yesterday. Sort of allowing for things to taper off kind of thing. And where everything is heading this week, um well, let's see, it's the 14th. We're heading into uh we're heading into cho- choppy waters, let's say. So the moon, let's take a look where the moon is in Pisces right now. So the moon is heading towards Neptune. He's just getting up and snuggling up to Mr. Saturn. So trying to figure things out, trying to get a sense of the land, let's say. So here it is. So our internal core is trying to get a sense of the ley land of everything seeming to be bombarded upon us at once. Mars has gone into Capricorn. So we're going to get some idea of things. We're going to get maybe something there. He's getting closer, moving closer to Mars. And wanting to get, we want to get forward, we want to get going. Now, Mars and Mercury together are not bad. I mean, they're pretty good. They're pretty good duo. I mean, they're not a bad duo, but I mean, there's just leave her alone. They do have some. It's kind of like the crazy boys when they get together because Mercury has all this information, wants to tell Mars, and Mars can get really hyped up and really like, oh my god, let's get going. We got to get doing on things, and we're in Capricorn, and Pluto's going like, yeah, look at this, look at this, look at this, because he's at the end. He's almost ready to partir this all till September of this year. So he's coming in, he's just tipping into that Aquarius energy. And it's not going to be exactly the way everybody is expecting it. Now, I've been doing been doing a little bit of work on understanding more about the fifth dimension and working within the fifth dimension. And many hey, many when we talk about many people, when they talk about the fifth dimension, they get out of there. They get very thinking that we don't have to be here, sort of thing. We don't have to be here. But it is about taking that energy and being here. It is about the understanding of our mind. And it's funny because this is partially what I'm talking about in my meditation today. It's about gaining that liberation, the liberation of the mind. It's about being free from it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not utilizing your mind, but it's getting you to understand that there's elements to it, right? Where we come into a discernment of how we are looking looking at things. Like there's more to it than what the headline says, right? The headline is coming in. And that's really when you got the Mars and the Mercury in Capricorn. They're wanting you to look more at what the structure is. What is that element of the structure? What is it built on? There are different layers here, there's different levels of it. And our mind wants to stay at the one level because this is easy for us. This is what we do. You said it's this is it. Okay, it's red, it's red. But red has many shades, right? You got a blue red, you got an orange red, you got these different shades of red. You can dilute the red to very soft and get it right down to a pink, you know. So there's many facets of red, right? It's not just red. And so that's what we are moving into. We're moving into the many facets of what the world is. And as we are moving into these different facets of what the world is, we're coming into a place of discernment, of understanding, and allowing the infiltration of the energy to come forth, to vibrate within our system, so we are able to function within this world and bringing this energy, this frequency within the world, so we are able to create this harmonious energy. Now, then you say, it's like, well, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is all this craziness? Well, it's also part of the restructuring. Remember, the fifth is here. We're working within it. We're allowing for it, but we're coming with it with an understanding. Now, this is how I'm perceiving this. We're coming to it with an understanding. So we're able to deal with all the sores of the world, deal with all the things that need to be healed. And as we are working with it, it is about restructuring. And within that restructuring, things have to topple, things have to come down. And as they come down, we have to look at it in a new way of how we're going to rebuild it all, how we are going to do it. It's frustrating. It can be, very this is where people's anxieties, come up, because we have many, many beautiful new souls on this world that, one, they haven't been here before. They haven't, this is like maybe their first or second time incarnating, and they decided to, incarnate in such a crazy transformative time. We're entering into a time where there are going to be, when we look at ingenuity and new ways of electronics, and when we look at the computer system, the AI, all of this is going to be changing at a rapid rate. There's going to be a positive with it and a negative with it, right? And how we are going to be integrating all of this around us. Now, this week has been, shall I say, topsy-turvy. There's been so much happening, from, United Kingdom and United States coming together and bombing. We have where, I think it was the Houthis bombed the Russians by accident. Maybe not. We don't know. But we have where so much is going on. We even had uh, an explosion or something happened in St. Petersburg. We had an alarm go out here in Alberta about our electricity, which I found very interesting. When it came across, I was just like, oh, all right, that's interesting. And that we had to borrow some electricity from Saskatchewan, and now everybody's like, oh, well, I thought so and so, or whoever our premier is, Danielle, had it all together. And it's just interesting to see how things well, she's going to be scrambling on this one. But I feel, because the thing is that two gas plants did go down in Alberta, and that's not in the news. Um, and what happened to them? Was it sabotage? Was it, something else? We're not gonna know. We're not gonna know. Of course, metal after a certain coldness will snap, right? So that's why they always have to watch the pipelines and everything else, right? But this is where it's interesting because when, and this is part of the movement of moving into a new dimension, is that you don't want the baddies, that's what I'm calling, don't want the new to get too powerful, you know? Because the thing is that when you move to a point in this new frequency, when you move into this newness, you get to, it's just like you realize they don't have power. They really don't. They might feel like they have power because we're in the three-dimensional world. It might feel, but in actuality, they don't have power because they don't have power over that mind, over that higher consciousness. They don't have power over that. And when they don't have power over that, then they're going to try and do whatever they can to control it, in some way. And that's through sabotage, that's through fear, setting, and that fear and everything. I know power went out in around Cochrane and a few other places here in Alberta and some of the other areas. And of course, everybody's like, "Oh, look at this," and they start freaking out. And I find it interesting, that there's that's going on. So there's so much that is being infiltrated into our frequencies that are trying to pull the frequency back down to the lower octaves and pulling it down to the lower octaves of the mind. And I'm finding that a lot of these frequencies is, and I keep saying frequencies and octaves because that is where it's moving. That's where I see it moving. I see it like a orchestra, uh that's being played out. This orchestra is being played out. This melody is being played out in and around us. And for us to really trust in this newness that we are receiving. Because as we are trusting it, more will come into alignment for us. And as it comes more into alignment for us, we're going to find more that we are needing to be trusted. Sorry, my nose is going to explode any minute. So, but I'm not going to blow my nose on my live. So, but this is where we have to come into this trusting of ourselves, coming into that trusting of our feelings, our intuition, and how we are vibrationally picking up the energies that are around us, and know that we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. This week we are in a heightened week. This week is going to be extremely heightened. It's the 14th. By the end of the week, we have the sun will conjunct with Pluto this week and will pass over with, and pass over and go into Aquarius. And then Pluto will pass and go into Aquarius. So the sun and Pluto are going to be moving sort of together. And that's going to activate a lot of external activities in and around our world. And so we're going to see a lot of things coming at us within the externalness of of this world. And this is where, okay, we have to come in with our discernment. We have to come in with allowing ourselves to not get drawn into the lower octaves. And being aware, it's really important to be aware of who are the players in all of this, right? You can't go through this blindly. I know a lot of people want to, but you can't go through this blindly. You got to be, I got to be aware of what's happening. I got to have an idea, but I'm not going into that octave, right? I got to stay within my frequency, allow my frequency to move forward from here. So there you go. So I'm not going to be out here much longer. I got to go because my nose, and there is, a lot that is going to be happening. So know that we're all going to get through this, but it's not going to be easy. This is where we are entering into more of a depth of cleansing and clearing and creating the newness of the melody that we have to create. So there you go. Have a blessed one. I got to go because my nose is going to explode. And have a great one. And we'll talk to you all soon.